Welcome to the Art Box, your podcast dedicated to exploring the vibrant art scene in Nevada and beyond. Join us as we embark on a journey through galleries, theaters, studios, public lands, and streetscapes, meeting the artists, curators, archaeologists, nature lovers, and cultural influencers who shape our creative community and our world. Whether you're looking for your next cultural adventure, seeking inspiration for your own artistic pursuits, or simply curious about the world of art, tune into the Art Box. Together, let's open up a world of creativity and imagination. Let's dive in.
Dreams, what if the night is about you and me? So lift your head up to the sky.
Good morning, Sandy.
Well, good morning, Steve. How are you?
Oh, just wonderful.
Thank you for doing this with me. I really appreciate it.
Yes, and thank you for coming early for me.
Oh, yeah, not a problem at all. I understand. Schedules be schedules.
Hey, you know what? I knew that we had to talk when you said something about when we initially contacted that you're going to conquer the world.
Yeah, it's my ultimate goal. Slowly but surely.
And that's a good goal. So thanks for calling in. Welcome to the Art Box. And
thank you.
You're a radio person, so I'm probably just a rookie here as compared to what you do. But do you want to take a little time and tell us about yourself?
Absolutely. Well, I just want to say thank you for having me on your show. This is a really cool opportunity. So I'm up here in northern Nevada, you guys down there in southern Nevada. I've been in radio for going on about 20 years now. I wiggled my way through and told them, oh, yeah, I know everything about computers. And then they finally let me be on the air after about a year. So I absolutely love it. It's my favorite thing in the world. I'm also, I'm a mom to a 17-year-old who graduates this year. It's breaking my heart. And then, so on the side, on top of radio and being a mom, which is my favorite thing in the world, I also love the arts, right? This is what your show's all about. I co-own a theater company here in northern Nevada. We are called Ghostlight Productions. We have been in service now since 2014, and I can't even know how many shows. Maybe about 40 we've done in that time frame.
Really?
Wow. I love it. We're doing a show right now. I'm directing a show called The Trial of Ebenezer Scrooge. It's a comedy by a gentleman named Mark Brown, and it's a kind of a play on the Christmas Carol, and it's a spin on it. So if it's Scrooge taking all the ghosts to trial for pain and suffering and attempted murder on him all these years ago. So it's a twist on a classic tale.
Oh my God, that sounds so great.
It's so much fun. It really is. We open that show December 4th through the 6th and then December 12th. So we're getting all those little details, fine included at this point. I love it. It's so much fun. I'm also the secretary for the Elko Art Foundation in town, which is a nonprofit. And our main mission is to help artists in the area get the word out, and just help with their cause and their love of art. We just got done with our mural festival last year in 2024, and then we are trying to get one together for our neighboring town of either Spring Creek, Carlin, or Wells to do a mural festival there. So hopefully we'll bring about 12 to 20 to life. Depends on what businesses are up for it. But yeah, I mean, in the downtime, I just like to art it up. I have a Buzzy Bee Art. That is my, I guess, what would you call that? A little side hustle that I like to try to do. To try to create stuff for people too. So it's just nonstop.
Yeah, Buzzy Bee Art. You say that's your side hustle.
Yeah, so Buzzy Bee Art is kind of just, I like to paint and create and do whatever I can on the side for people. I just made a set of these wings for a mascot for Zero Suicides Elko County. And they wanted to go represent in a physical form. So they have a representation of their company that goes out there, and they wear these butterfly wings that have the colors that have to do with hope and love and somebody to reach out to. So it's just little things like that. If people ever want to get a hold of me, I love doing stuff like that. I really do. It's super fun.
Yeah, and we'll need to get all of your URLs and emails and everything like that too, and also PR for the Ebenezer Scrooge. God, I wish I lived closer.
Well, you're more than welcome to come up here. The college did this show. There's about 4 theater companies up here in northern Nevada. So the Great Basin College put on this show, and it was my very first show that I did as an adult back in 2011. And I played a small part in it. And then all these years later, when I'm the vice president now of a theater company, and I help out with the high school theater. I'll get back on track. Sorry.
No, you can stay off track
anyway.
all you want. We're going to have a hard time fitting all this in. You do so much, and I'm so excited about it. We're going to have a hard time fitting this in an hour, I'm sure.
No,
but
I doubt that for sure. But it's cool to be able to act in that show and then all these years later kind of bring it back to life in a different form. So directing the show has been really magical after 15 years of being, it's kind of like a full circle kind of moment. But the Elko High School Theater is something that they let me come in and help them out backstage. And we are going to do a radio theater rendition of A Christmas Carol that's going to air on Christmas Eve on all 6 of our stations up here. So people can tune in from all around the world to listen to it. I did this with them with War of the Worlds back in 2022. And we had a gentleman, he was a senior at the high school at that time. He's went on to Harvard at this point and involved with their choir and their theater company. And that guy's going to go somewhere magical. I absolutely know it. I love doing it with these kids. These kids are so enthusiastic, and the way they use their imaginations is something that I wish I had that kind of outlet when I was a teenager. So I'm really excited to bring A Christmas Carol rendition to life with them. We had Radio World magazine reach out to us when we did War of the World, and they did a publication on it. So it was really cool to see. The kids were like freaking out about it, and I included. I was like, oh yeah, oh my God, I'm going to try to act cool, but I'm not. Screaming up and down when I saw the article come out, and just I have a love for the stage for sure.
make the scene for me about that. Did you do it? I think War of the Worlds was done live, wasn't it? Initially?
It was. Yeah, so Orson Welles did that live and freaked people out. People were calling in thinking it was real. I love bringing a story like that to life, right? So the power of radio, that's my first love when it comes to anything like that. We did War of the Worlds for a theater company in 2020. We thought that was very fitting. We did that for Ghostlight Productions. And then I wanted to try to do that with the high school as well, because they opened up their theater department around 2021. So we just brought it to life in that way. So we got the script to the kids. I went over it with them a few times. We got them into the studio. We had about 8 of them. And then one by one, we recorded it. We did not do this live only because I didn't know if they were up for the task, if I was up for the task. The one we did for the adults was live. That was really cool. But this one, so anybody can listen to it. We have I think it's over on elkobackstage.com. We still have the copy up there. Super fun, though. So everyone listen to it. I think we did that in the middle of October of 2022. I brought my parents into the studio with me and my son, and we listened to it with tinfoil hats on just to try to play into the whole magical scene of radio theater.
Oh, that's so fun. When I was reading about that, I immediately sent a letter to Bethany, and she's a young mom here and has kids in the theater and everything. I said, "You've got to do this."
I love that. Listen, if you can make your imagination come to life like that, highly encourage it. Even if it's just you and your friends sitting around, tell them that story. There's something, magical in the air about it. I stand by that. I will die on that hill.
Oh, yes. Oh, yeah. I'm so excited about that. I can't even say. So,
thank you, Steve.
So let's talk about real quick. Well, we don't have to be real quick, but let's talk about 6-year-old Sandy. What were you doing at 6 years old? Were you running around coming home with bugs in your pockets, or were you doing art, doing theater?
Oh, my God, 6-year-old Sandy. So I grew up in the country area of California, and we were pretty secluded from everything. So we were about 45 minutes from an actual town. I think there was like 200 people in our town. My grandfather was a carpenter, so he would build his house, and we saw him build it from the ground up. He would actually pay my brother and I a penny for each nail we would pick up. And, oh, man, at the time, my brother's about 2 years younger than me. We're like, we're rich. Oh, my God, look, we got 103 pennies,
Oh, I bet,
so
yeah.
Just out. Oh, yeah, I'm going to sue him.
What a memory. What a memory to have of your grandfather.
Oh, it was lovely. We used to ride horses. My neighbor they had hay. That's what they did for a living. So they had these big hay fields, and then they'd bundle them up and sold them for profit. That's how they made their money. So when I say we live in the country, we had 2 channels. We had Fox and we had PBS. So I was always watching Sesame Street or Mr. Rogers, or we were out there, we watched the OJ Simpson chase on Fox. I remember seeing that as a 6-year-old. So that was kind of a mind-boggling experience. Well, the first time when we moved to Nevada, we were about 9. My parents packed us up and moved us here. And the very first time I ever got to watch cable TV, I thought it was the greatest thing on the planet. Like, I'm walking into a palace. We watched Ghostbusters on actual television. We're like, we live in the life. Like, this is crazy. So 6-year-old Sandy would just, because there was nothing to do out there. So it was me and my brother, and we had these 2 neighbors, Crystalline and Jonathan, and we would go out there and we had to use our imaginations to come up with stuff because there was nothing else to do. There was no television or anything else like that. We go and we play in the irrigation canal, which is pretty dangerous, but no one was watching. Who cares? So we'd go and do that. Or my brother and I were really close, so we just make our own kind of fun up. Maybe that's where the imagination and stuff comes from. Want to create something out of thin air.
Yeah, because we had when we were like that, and I didn't live in the country, although it was as compared to today, it was country. So your dad was a musician, and he had a big impact on your life. You want to talk a little bit about your dad?
Oh, absolutely. My dad has been playing music since I could remember. My brother and I were listening to him play harmonica as a kid, just memorized by it. It was the coolest thing in the world. He also plays piano, and he wrote this song for my mother, and he used to play it for us as little kids, and we used to sit there and be memorized by it. He still does it to this day. Let's say we went to Idaho a few years ago, and he found this piano at a thrift store, and he starts playing the song, and people start gathering around. And I'm like, this is the craziest thing in the world. There's some random guy in a thrift store, and then I'm recording him. Everybody claps afterwards. People are trying to tip him. I'm like, that is wild. He's in a band. He is part of the Beach Party Surfers. I wish I had his musical talent. I have no musical talent whatsoever, but he does possess it all. But yeah, my dad's just like me. He's that super creative person. He's the one. We got into theater together. We went and saw a show, and we're like, oh my God, we should do this together. So we went out on audition. We got the part. We went into another show with the Little Shop of Horrors, and I got the part of Audrey. He got the part of the plant, and it was just sealed into fruition after that. My dad and I are best friends as that goes.
But how old were you when you got the parts like that?
Oh, so I was in my mid-20s when that happened.
Oh, okay.
We got into theater a little bit later into life. So I was about 25, and Little Shop of Horrors. God, I don't even know how many shows we've done after that. Maybe around 60.
Wow.
I think I've been involved for about 70 productions at this point, whether it's front of house help or acting or directing or whatnot. I love it beyond words. Theater is right up there with radio for me.
Well, I've never seen a bad live show on stage.
Good. Do you have one that you've seen that kind of resonates with you?
Well, we have the theater here. And
okay.
Yeah, and growing up, my mom was in the theater and everything. But I've never, people, that wasn't very good. I have never seen anything on stage that I didn't thoroughly enjoy. Because it's live, it's there, it's in front of you. There's little mistakes and everything. But I'm sorry, I interrupted you. You were going. You were going into your mom next.
No, you're good because you guys are near Vegas, correct?
Yeah, we're about 80 miles.
Okay, so yeah, we're seven hours away. You're 100% near Vegas. I'm sure you guys get to see some amazing shows come through there. I'm jealous, honestly. I think I go to Vegas maybe once or twice a year.
And then all my friends in Elko and Reno, they're doing things, and I'd love to be there. And but Mesquite's good.
The grass is always greener. I was going to say, I don't want to leave my mom out of this in case she listens to it. She's super creative too in her own way. But her and my brother kind of are behind the scenes. Are a little bit more introverted than my father and I. So, I mean, we're all creative people to some degree. It does help to, I guess, facilitate that kind of love for it. They're always, super supportive of it. Like, oh yeah, great, Sandy. You painted a giant banana. We love it. Or they're always, waiting in the wings to see a show. And I have the best family in the world. I couldn't ask for a better support system. So shout out to Dan and Janet. Hi guys. That's
cool. You mentioned that, your dad was just spontaneously playing music in a public place. And I've worked really hard to get a piano here because I've seen this summer no, it was last summer when I was coming through some little town in British Columbia. There was a piano sitting outside, and it was painted, and it was outside an art gallery. And as I was coming up there was a lady coming out, and she was with a boy. He was probably in his 20s, and he was, I think, a little slow or something. I think she was probably obviously his guardian. Mm-hmm. And she said, "Oh, would you like to hear something?" And I said, "Sure," because I love piano music. He sat down, and he played Clocks by Coldplay. And it was beautiful. And I was like, oh, my God, we've got to get a piano here. So I got a piano the other day, and a couple weeks ago. And they voted on it last night. I wasn't here. I was in Vegas at something. And I was so sad to hear that one of my friends on the council voted against it. And her thing was, well, it's going to fall apart. And I'm like, so what? Do you imagine it's going to go at the art gallery in this amphitheater that's got a cover over it? Can you imagine for the next couple years that it's alive before it falls apart? The song and the excitement and the happiness that's going to bring. So, and I can just, your dad was doing that, and so music makes people happy.
It absolutely does. It's that one thing that I think can bring everybody together, no matter what language you have, no matter what class that you belong into. Music is that one thing that kind of brings everybody all together.
Yes. Okay, mural. You do murals, and we're not that we're trying to be. Cynthia Delaney, right?
I do. I love Cynthia Delaney. I have some of her artwork hanging up in my office currently.
well, she moved to Mesquite. Mm-hmm. So, and Linda and I, when we were doing the podcast up at Elko, 3 years ago, Cowboy Poetry, we met her and said, well, you want to be on the podcast? And she said, wait till I move to Mesquite. Well, now she's in Mesquite.
That works out. I know. I saw her. She brags about you guys. So you guys are doing something.
She's talking about moving back, though. So I'm like, say it ain't so, but whatever makes her happy. But in any case, so we've got a few murals here, and we're excited about them. But what's the most difficult part of creating a mural for you?
Oh, man. I'm sure it's different for every kind of artist, mural artist. My biggest thing is it's hard to stand back and look at the bigger picture when it's massive, right? So my biggest thing is like, all right, it's making sure all the lines are straight. Some people who do these things are incredible at it, and I hope to get one day to that degree. I'll stand back and look, and I'm like, well, that line's crooked, and somewhat of a perfectionist, but I also got that little Bob Ross in me where it's like, no, it's a happy accident. So
there you go.
Continue on with it, like this conflict in your head. But I really like the way that murals kind of can transform into something else. So I had this business last year that was a auto business, and it's like, hey, you know what? You go for it. Let us know what you're thinking of. So I like to be the one to create something for them rather than I had another person like, hey, we have this painting and we like it replicated onto the side of the building, which is like, okay, well, that idea is there, but it's a little bit harder, I guess, to use your imagination because that's what I would like to do and use my own spin on it than having somebody else's idea already set into stone. But other than that, I mean...
Oh, yeah, commission. No artists like commissions, do they?
I'm all about it.
Well, maybe all about the money, but then a commission kind of reins you in.
It does. It absolutely does. And it depends on who you work with. I like working with people just like in their private lives. Oh, I did this one for this lady, and she just bought a new home. She had a garden, this big cement wall in the back. She wasn't a big fan of it. So we came up with this mandala idea with all these flowers involved, and she just let me go for it. And it turned out the coolest. And then we had another one. It's like, hey, I want these horses. And it's like, okay. So it's really hard to see your vision and their vision kind of meet in the middle and make everybody happy.
Oh, I'll bet.
But other than that, it's a really cool process. What I like doing is meeting these people who have been involved with it for many years, and they're always so nice. They'll always give you tips like, hey, you can use this product, or here's something that you can cut the corner with to save you time. I like the camaraderie about it. It feels like we're working with a team. No one's working against each other in that kind of manner.
Yeah, that's great. And the murals up there are just, magnificent. So
I love going to any town and try to go down. And everybody has like an art district. We went up to Boise, my son and I, over the summer, and they have this huge alley. It's just called Mural Alley. And everything is just miraculously cool. You can tell that there was beginners all the way up to experts and everything in between to make this really cool art installation come to life. I think that's cool when everybody can come together with some idea and just make it flow. Whether it makes sense or not, it doesn't matter, because it's gonna pull at somebody's heartstrings.
Yes. Yeah, and it's not always the idea to look at something and say it's beautiful. Sometimes it's really good to look at something and have to think for a few minutes.
True, art is subjective.
And that's very much okay. Hey, do you want to talk about your radio shows?
Yeah, we can do that. Okay, I have 4 of them. So I'm on Mix 96.7. That's my morning show from Monday through Saturday. Get here at 5 a.m. Anybody thinking about getting a job where you have to get here that early? Think twice.
So are you like Howard Stern then?
I hope I'm better mannered for sure. But I got a mixed morning show, and then in the afternoons, 2 of these. So I do 2 rock shows. One's up here in Northern Nevada on Overdrive 100.5, and then I have a show in New Mexico, which is the same format. It's a rock station called Overdrive, and that's 101.5. And then I host a talk show twice a year. That'd be great. Twice a week, Thursdays and Tuesdays, and that one's called Backstage. So much like your podcast, it's a arts and culture show that we have people on. I talked to a gentleman named Mark Sutherland, say about 6 months ago, and he did this documentary about his dog, and it was her last couple months of life. But she ended up living a couple more years. But he took her on this huge bucket list for his dog. He loved her to the moon and back, and it is now nominated for an Oscar for Best Documentary.
Is it really? Wow.
Yeah. It's called Abby's List. And when he broke the news, I was like, that is the craziest thing. Because we just happened to just fall upon him, somebody who also works in radio with me. It's like, hey, I know a guy. We can reach out. Kind of like Cynthia did with me, right? You can talk to them. And I was blown away. Got a hold of him like, hey, congratulations, and everything else like that. So you never know who you're going to stumble upon. That's my favorite part. I like going in completely blindsided. Like, hey, just tell me about your life. Let's do this. Let's find out more about you. And it's weird to be on the other end of it, because I'm like, okay, I need to stop talking about me because I feel weird about it. I want to ask you like a million questions, Steve. So thank you for letting me be on the other side of what I do for a living typically. I appreciate it. I ask people to go into details about themselves. That's crazy how you started that off. I was like, well, I don't know if we're going by the same handbook that doesn't exist, but it's perfect.
So you've won some awards, and I know, we're all kind of, when we win an award, we really don't want to talk too much about it or anything, but you've won the Mayor's Art Award in Northeast Nevada and individual artist. And then in 2024, you got an award for service to the arts. Do you want to talk about that? Was there one that was, no, I shouldn't say that. Was there one that was better? So that's like asking what national park is the worst national park. No.
That's hilarious.
They're all great.
They are. And it's that thing where it's like, I don't think I deserve it, but I'm not just saying that. Like, I do not think that. When 2017 happened, there was a boot installation in town. And
I know all about those. Yes.
Yeah. So I got to do one for Pace Coalition, and it sits in front of the library. And when they reached out, I was like, is that for that? I just didn't think I deserved it, but really cool. Celebrated with pizza with my parents and my son at the time. That sits now in my living room still. And then when 2022 came around and they said I won one for the service of the arts, that was more, I was like, there's no way. You almost think it's like a lie. So each time it's happened, I'm more grateful than I can even try to fruition into words. I love what I do, and I'm not looking for any kind of recognition like that. Like just talking to people and doing my show, or being out there doing theater, or be out there with our art foundation. It just makes my soul happy. People go run to make themselves feel good. this is what I do. I'm not a big runner, so it's just things like that. But yeah, I couldn't be more grateful for our county for just being so generous the way that they are. I love the Mayor's Art Awards. I think it's cool, and I hope they continue it still for decades to come. Cynthia Delaney, just one individual artist. 2022 as well, correct? Or this year? I'm not sure what year it was.
I'm not sure. She wouldn't talk about it.
Okay, that's
she's been a guest. When she finally got down here, we had her as a guest. So, do you make your living via art?
I do. Yes, my job here is on the radio. I work 5 days a week here, and I get in the side hustle because the world is expensive. I try to do that with Buzzy Bee Art. Our theater company is nonprofit, so nobody makes any money off of that, and neither does the Elko Art Foundation. So yeah, I mean, I think as radio, as a creative outlet, as a form of art, for sure. So I guess I could say I make my way that way.
There's not many people who do. Most people that I know are, there's some really successful artists. You obviously with what you're doing. Otherwise people go teach, and that's how they make their living out of art. So it's so interesting when people find a way to make a living out of art.
I know when I find those people, I'll sit them down and I'll just pick their brains. I'm like, listen, let me get on this caliber. Show me how you're doing this. I'm sure you have the same kind of love. I love hearing people and when they do teach and how they got started and how they progressed and how they're helping the next generation. My heart gets so full hearing those kind of stories. Absolutely love that.
Do you ever dream about your art? Because there's evidence of dream-inspired creativity.
I probably have the craziest dreams known to mankind. I'll wake myself up like talking. I don't know if I dream about my art, but I will I'll be sitting here at work sometime and I'll have like a weird idea. I'm like, okay, well, now I got to paint a horse that's, riding in on a red carpet. And there's, a bomb going off in the background. I don't know where these ideas come from. I probably lack of sleep probably helps. I get up about 3 a.m. for work, and then we're at rehearsal till about 9 o'clock at night for the theater company. So I'm sure that makes my brain go a little crazy, and it helps with creativity. At least that's what I'll derive it into.
Yes, I guess. Yeah, you have to get up early, and then the theater is. I forget about that with my mom. It would be like 5 days a week. Out till late. And I was always lucky she let me come with her. So,
that's such a good mom.
I was able to run around and stay up late. How do you handle mistakes and the critic in your head? Well, maybe you don't make mistakes.
Oh, yeah, right. If we could only live that kind of life. I guess it goes back to the Bob Ross thing. I try to think of them as happy accidents. When it comes to radio, one of my very first people who ever helped me start, her name was Shawnee Smith. She's one of my favorite people on the planet. I still speak to her to this day. And she was like, you know what? As soon as you say it, it's going to go out of this microphone, and it's out there in the universe, in the airways. You can't get it back. She's like, don't dwell on it, all right? Move on to your next element. And that's always stuck with me, and not just in radio, but in anything that I do. So let's say, your next art project is going to be the theater, and you mess up a line. Doesn't matter, just catch it, move on. Don't let anybody see it's a happy accident. You can make some magic happen out of it. And it's the same as you're putting pen to paper or paint to canvas. Even if you make a mistake, you don't have to beat yourself up over it. Just move on, Don't live in that moment too long. Everybody has those moments. Just make it happen for you. It's no big deal. Life is too short to live in some kind of situation where you're just like, oh, I'm the worst and I suck. I don't want to do that to myself, or I don't want anyone else doing that too. So if you're listening and you have that kind of mindset where it's like, all I do is make mistakes. No, you don't. No, you don't. This is what you do. Make it work for you. You're doing a fine job.
Your world pretty much is live. Soon as when I get back with this, I can cut out all the ums and ahs. There's no cutting any of that out for you.
Yeah. I'd rather live in that kind of situation. It's weird almost being pre-recorded. I feel like I'm cheating somehow. I love being in front of a live audience, whether it be for theater or, sometimes in radio, you get to go out and do a remote. We used to host a thing in town called Safe Street. So we'd have about 10,000 people come through. and go to these fake doors and collect candy. And I'd be up on stage talking to them. That was in my first couple of years of radio. And I felt alive. It's something that I miss those days. And I wish we would have that kind of event back. But our station owners have retired since then, and we've got new ones. So on to, different kinds of avenues as far as being live goes. I know people, a lot of people out there have stage fright or whatnot, and I completely understand that. I am the complete opposite. When I was a kid, talking about 6-year-old Sandy, though, I could barely talk to a stranger. We lived out in the country. We didn't talk to a lot of people. We went to school and stuff, but our schools were pretty small. So I had to come out of that shell when I was, we moved here about 9, 10, and then kind of out of it when I was a teenager. And now I can't be stopped, and now it's a problem. So at least it worked for me at some point in my life. That's all.
Yeah. You know what? You're talking about the Doors and the case. That just takes me back to Steve Allen. And I think Steve Allen was, that's who I was named after, by the way. So he was ahead of his time with his TV show. I can remember where they superimposed him on people's shoulders out on the street. And now I'm like, how did they do that? It was so funny. I was little. I was laughing my brains out.
Inspiration comes from everywhere.
Yeah, I love that, the whole radio thing. I've been asking you questions here. This is like the Spanish Inquisition or something. I'm sorry, but What else do you want to say? Oh,
I don't know. I'm pretty boring outside of what I do. I mean,
I don't think you're hardly boring.
I eat Cheeto mac and cheese for dinner a lot. First of all, that is the best mac and cheese known to mankind. The Kraft, dip into the Cheeto mac and cheese. Me and my son are obsessed with it. It's like an actual problem. So I'm a normal person. I'm just really busy. I think that's what it is. I love being out there with the community, and I really do. No matter where I go, I try to immerse myself into it and get that kind of experience. Makes my soul dance, makes my soul come alive. And I hope to be doing radio for the rest of my life. It's my favorite thing I've ever got to do as far as the job wise goes, and I'm 20 years in. So anybody out there listening, don't think that just because I wanted to be a bass player when I was a teenager. I'm like, I'm going to be in a band, and I'll meet all the cool guys and all this kind of stuff. And of course that fell by the wayside. So I didn't get into radio until my mid-20s, and same with theater and everything else like that. So if you're listening and if you're younger, do not think that because you just had a dream when you were younger and you're not going to make it come to life, that your next dream won't be the one that you've actually always wanted to be. You just don't know it yet. Like, wait for it to fall in your lap. I hope that everybody listening knows that. And you can start it at any age, for sure.
Yeah, well, I started this podcast when I was over 70, so.
See?
Yes.
You get it.
Yes, you can always reinvent yourself, and that's the fun part.
It is. You can be anything that you want it to be. One day, I want to be an astronaut. I think that would be amazing.
Yeah, well, you never know. It could happen.
I wanted to be an astronaut when I was a little kid, too. I was one of those kids, obsessed about being on the honor roll, so I got that. Obsessed about being perfect attendance, so I got that. And then again, at 15, I was like, nah, I'll be a completely different person. Reinvent. Let's be a bass player. So you never know.
So if you could go back in time in the art world, or any world, whatever, where would you go and why?
That is the coolest question that has ever been asked. Oh my gosh, where would I go? To be honest with you, I would love to go to the Renaissance period just to see people and how long it actually took them to sit there and paint these paintings. I don't know the name of it, but there's one with so much detail that when people have taken magnifying glass or whatever you would consider it to it, the details of the clock are there, and every single hand, you can't see it almost from the naked eye. Like somebody took their time and then some. So I think it's like, why were people getting that much detail? Because there was nothing else. There was no internet. There was no TV. Like, this is what they invested their time in. I would love to be in that kind of situation where all my day was consumed with this, and this was going to be the paycheck, whatever you want to call it, lacking a better term for it, for your year. Like, these people got paid big money for it back then. I think that would be amazingly magical. But also, on the other side, nothing to do with art, I would love to go see dinosaurs. I think that would be the coolest thing in the world. Would I be scared? Absolutely. Would it be worth it? 1,000%.
Yeah, but in my scenario, you would just be there. You couldn't get hurt or anything. So
Oh, thank you. So
Yeah.
cool. You've got all that figured out. I
Yes, I
appreciate
did.
that,
Yes.
Steve.
Yes.
Foolproof plan. Meeting a dinosaur would be, I think, amazing. I'm like weirdly obsessed about it as a full-grown adult woman. I want to go like hunt for dinosaur bones and stuff like that. I have these dinosaur overalls, which I think that I look super sophisticated in. And I went to a city meeting dressed in these dinosaur overalls, thinking like, yep, I'm really great today. And people are coming out and asking me if I'm okay. So it's little things like that, man. Art is subjective, and so are fashion choices, I guess.
Oh, so you dress like Cynthia Delaney.
Oh, yeah. Oh,
Okay.
yeah. The weirder, the better.
Yeah, because she came into our impact meeting on Monday, and she was in something. I would normally say, "Look at you," but I didn't anymore because I now know Cynthia, and like, okay, I enjoyed it, but there was no reason for me to call her out on it. Maybe she's busy. Why didn't Steve call me out on this? What's wrong with him? Is this not good enough anymore? I don't know.
That's normal for her. I don't know if she still drives her flower truck or if you know about her or seen a picture of it.
She sold that.
Okay.
I think she was selling that to somebody in New Mexico or Arizona or something. And then she said, well, I've got another one. We're going to paint another one because I was trying to get her, and actually she said yes, but then my podcast partner wouldn't do it, to put it in the Christmas parade. So can we have an art box Christmas float in your painted truck? And I thought that would have been so cool, but I think it's going now.
That's fun. I love that so much.
Yeah, I know. And here we are. I'm just thinking about it now, and it's already too late to get in the Christmas parade for that. So, bummer. But yeah, her truck, and she's got a picture of her with her truck and everything. She is just
yeah. I think it's too short not to be colorful. Whether it be the thing you drive or the thing you wear, or just your house looking weird. Why not? I have a mural in my kitchen. I did. It's a whole ice cream kitchen because I like ice cream. So we painted this big, huge mural in that. I got another couple, huge paintings that I've done in the hallway just because I've gotten bored. It's just more, I don't know. I guess the more eccentric, the better in my world.
Yeah, I'd love to have a mural in my house. So.
I love it. I think it's fun. I'm about to do my bathroom. I've had it in a space theme for, I don't even know how many years now. And I just want to paint some big galaxies on it and stuff. I just got to find the time. And I know that I keep myself too busy even to do stuff for myself sometimes. So that's my own fault.
Yeah, I know. I just like to clean up my office. So that would be my mural if I could clean up my office. But I go look at it and then it's like, no, I got to leave. And
well, if I ever make it down there, I'll clean your office for you, Steve.
Well,
you have my word. I'll write it down.
The office is the guest bedroom.
So my son graduates this year, and it's breaking my heart because it's always, he's my little shadow, and he's in theater too. But he doesn't know what he wants to do in life. He's like, I'll be an English teacher. And I was like, that's the coolest thing ever, too. Travel the world with it, do something special with it. So being a mom, I think, is my favorite thing. So it sounds like, yourself being a dad is one of your favorite things, too.
He's in his senior year?
He is, yeah. Yeah, he graduates here soon. And I don't know what I'm going to do without him, to be quite honest with you.
Is he off to school somewhere?
He doesn't know yet. He might stay local and take some classes to become an English teacher. That's what we've been talking about. So that's what we're in the works for as of now. He's in like I said, he does theater for the high school as well. He's been, around me for theater since he was about 2 years old. And he was never interested in it until he got into junior high. I never made him do this. He wanted to be a basketball player at one point. I'm like, go for it. Let's sign you up. He was into Boy Scouts for a little bit. Yes, any dream you want, kid. Just because I like something doesn't mean I'm not like a football mom. You got to play football like a dad. I don't care if you like theater or not. But it just fell into his wayside too. And they're doing a Midsummer Night's Dream. The opening night is tonight. And it runs through.
Oh, how exciting for you. And I guess for him too, but.
Yeah, it's all not about him.
So let me ask you this, because I'll ask about him, but about you, when opening night for a play, do you have butterflies?
Yes. And I tell my actors this each and every time. If you do not have some sort of butterfly, if you're not nervous on some kind of level, I think you're doing something wrong. I countless shows that I have been involved with, and every single time I'm about to go out, I either feel like I'm going to pass out, or I've forgotten my lines, or everything's going to go wrong. if you're too comfortable on stage, then it's not in your heart anymore. You've got to have that love for it still. So everybody who's nervous for it, you're doing something right. I'll tell the kids when I go to the high school and help them out, or I'll tell the adults when we do a show with them. That is normal. I like those butterflies.
I'm not sure I even hear anybody talk about butterflies anymore. Then how quick do the butterflies go away? Because then you're focused.
Oh, yeah. They go away pretty quickly as soon as you hear your first laugh or, reaction from a crowd. We did a show, and it's probably one of my favorite moments that I've ever had. We did Rocky Horror Picture Show. And so it's a floor show. So what it is, they show the movie, and then we'll have a series of actors act out the movie in front of you. And I got to play Columbia in this production. So we had about 400 people. It was a sold-out night. We only had one night. We rented out this entire room inside of a casino. Excuse me. And so at one point, when it says a toast in the movie, people will throw toast in a midnight showing. So that's what we did during the show. And we saw 400-something pieces of toast fly into the air. And I'm like, this is the coolest thing that could ever happen. So even with your nerves, you do find your moments where you're like, okay, this is worth it, and it's going to be fine. Even when things go wrong, there was a show that we were doing. We put too much fake snow down on the ground. We had an actor slip, and he actually hurt himself. But again, you're just like, all right, we got to get up. We got to move on. The audience doesn't know what's going on. So, there's always a story out of every show. Oh, probably my favorite. I was in a show with my friend named Emily, and there's a point where she needs to pour a glass, a drink from a glass bottle into somebody's mouth. And she just didn't calculate it correctly, and it knocked this guy's tooth out.
Oh,
so no. Real, yes. We'll have to huddle in this scene right afterwards. And because I didn't see it happen, all I hear him go is, how bad is it? And he smiles. And I'm like, oh, my God, what happened? And she goes, I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. We go back out. We finish the scene. We find his tooth somehow. 2 hours later, he has to go get it surgically put back in. The remainder of the show, we're just wincing from her, don't hurt us. But you just never know what's going to happen on stage. And he still does theater, by the way. There was no anger involved or anything else. It was just a freak accident. So the butterflies are fine because something is always going to happen, whether it be funny or whether it be insane.
Oh, my God. So he smiled with the tooth missing?
Yep. Oh, yep. The whole tooth popped out.
Oh, that had to be just the thought of that now. I mean, it's horrible, but it's also something that you would remember forever. That's a snapshot. Boom. It's in my mind forever.
Literally. Yeah. That was probably one of the most wild moments that we've had as far as actors go. So I don't know I don't want to beat that one day. Like, that's about as crazy as I think that we want to get, is losing an entire appendage off stage.
Yes. Oh, great. You're busy. I'm really busy, and I love to read, but I have no time to read anymore, and I feel bad about it. I'll read a book if we're going to interview an author. But what's in your book queue?
Oh, yeah, same. I have no time to read. I think the last books I've read, oh, my God, I don't even know. I read scripts, if that makes, I guess that can count. Read a lot on the internet to get, prepared for a show or whatnot. I consider that reading just because there's not a lot of books on the shelves.
So reading scripts. Now that guy, I forget who the actor is. He died. Pretty famous actor. I was in Toronto going through security, and he was there reading a script. I was like, oh, this is, I forget who he is. So, but there he was reading the script, going through security. I thought, this is great. I'm glad I got to see this guy like this.
Yeah. It's an interesting read. Some of these are written for film or they're for stage, so they'll have different directions in them. That's what a screenplay is. So it's like, okay, this person enters here, and the emotion is set here, so it kind of guides you through it and kind of use your imagination. Then preset to a book where it just has all of the dialogue and it's trying to explain it to you. So they're both written differently, but with the same kind of cause and effect, trying to take you through the story for sure. How long does your show go on for?
We never set a time limit.
Oh, okay.
When
Gotcha.
we started our very second one we ever did, she was into 2 hours.
Wow.
And we were learning such good stuff. We were fine, but people were like, oh, no, you can't do that because people will quit listening. And I'm like, well, if Joe Rogan has a good guest, I'm in it for the 3 hours, I may fall asleep, but I'm in it for the 3 hours. So
So I
Yeah.
have the exact same mindset as you. My talk show is timed down to the minute because we're on a talk radio station. So it has to be 52 minutes and 50 seconds. So I can record somebody for about, I mean, if they want to talk for 60 minutes, I can do that, but I just have to cut stuff out. So it's cool that you have that kind of leeway to let it go on for as long as you need to. It's neat.
Yeah, I mostly just cut all my stories out because people don't tune in for Steve's story. So I cut all that out, and then all the ums and ohs. And then sometimes it goes over an hour, and that's just the way it goes, you know?
No, I appreciate you letting me do this with you. I've been so excited. I've been telling all my friends and family, like, hey, you get to go to the Art Box. You get to do this with the podcast down in Vegas. So you entirely made my month. Thank you so much.
Oh, well, thank you. I'm so excited to do this. So what's your go-to snack on a road trip?
Oh, what a great question. Oh, my gosh. All right. It is the white cheddar popcorn. That is something that my son and I bring on every road trip. We're going to go see Elf the Musical on Thanksgiving weekend, and I've already got that bag of popcorn ready for it. Hands down, best one.
Okay. Yeah, that's good. So you're going with the unhealthy thing because some people will be like, oranges and
my God,
healthy
there's
this.
no way.
Yeah, because
No,
does.
you're on the road. Like it's already boring enough. Don't bring like apples or something. I'm gonna have myself a whole sleeve of Reese's peanut butter cups and some popcorn. Like this is what road trips are all about. Then we'll stop and we'll get one of those huge hot dogs. They're going to cause you some great harm later, but who cares? You're living in the moment, you know?
Final question, as long as you're okay with it. Anything else you want to tell me? Oh, I know you want to give me your radio station call signs, any URLs for your art, and now's the time to PR yourself.
Yeah, if anybody wants to listen, because I know you guys are down in Southern Nevada, you can listen online for the Mix Morning Show at mix967fm.com. That's mix967fm.com. ElkoBackstage.com is the talk show that I do. And then OverdriveFM.com is going to be the one for the rock station. There's so many. I'm just throwing numbers at people. And then Overdrive 101.5.com. That's the one for the show down in New Mexico. So if anybody's interested in that. Buzzy Bee Art, you can look it up on Facebook or Instagram or TikTok. And Elko's Mix 96.7 on TikTok and Facebook as well. People can reach out to me. We do, silly things over there all the time. So, yeah, I appreciate your time. Hope anyone wants to tune in and listen. I always try to make my show upbeat because I think the world is kind of sad enough as it is and kind of downtrodden. So I'm here for a good time. I'm never going to give you some bad news unless I absolutely have to. So that's what I like to do. I think the world's kind of not even just, in general with these days, but just in life itself sometimes. I like to be a happy place for people.
Oh, yeah. I like to be able to get up in the morning and look forward. I don't know how anybody can not get up in the morning looking forward to something. If that happens to me, then I'm ready to go.
Yeah, same. I want to get up and be in a good mood. Like you start off the day off right? If people are on radio know this, there's not a lot of money in radio, right? So
you're not rich? What? I know it's the craziest thing when people are like, hey, why are we counting pennies? I'm like, because I'm in radio. That's why. Unless you're Howard Stern, unless you're somebody who's big name out there, you're not making, I can make more money somewhere else and like probably by a large amount. However, I love doing this. It makes me happy. So that's where I kind of, divide that, whether I'd be happier, would I rather have more money in my hand? So I go with the first choice. I really do. Yeah. Yes. You have to get up in the morning and want to go do something, go do what you do. So my last question, what's inspired you this past week?
Oh, this past week, I have an actor who is in the show. And a couple of nights ago, he came in and he was just having a bad day. And he just said, hey, listen, having a bit of an identity crisis. So if I don't do well tonight, I apologize. And I said, okay, no problem. We all have days. And this guy got up and did the best rehearsal I think I've ever seen out of anybody, out of any show. He took all of his energy and whatever was going through his day and made it work for him. And it was in that moment, I was just like, you know what? It's a reminder, like even in those bad days or in those bad moments, you can turn it around and you can make it a powerful moment for yourself. You don't have to let it get yourself down. So that was an inspiration. And like the next morning I get up, I'm so tired and I'm like, well, nope, we're not going to do that. we're going to be like, I'm so tired, but it's going to be the best morning ever. We're going to make it work for yourself. So even if that person didn't know that he encouraged me to be just a little bit better, it's just little things like that. I found a cool little message just hidden inside. And even this podcast I've been looking for, and I was nervous, and I talk for a living. I was like, oh my gosh, what's going to go on? What are the questions going to be asked? So you're inspiring me to do something different on my show even. So I appreciate you. I thank you for reaching out, Steve, and thank you for your time. Sincerely, from the bottom of my heart.
Well, thank you. This has been enjoyable so much. I hate to even call it an interview because I like to say that it's more that we just have a chat with friends.
Yeah, the conversation.
So I'm sorry that you felt nervous about it. So now you know how all your guests feel like when they come on your radio show and it's like, oh my God, Sandy's going to put me under the Spanish Inquisition.
Yeah, I'm going to look inward from now on for sure, Steve.
Yeah. Well, Sandy, this is wonderful. Thank you so much.
Yeah, thank you for your time. And I look forward to, seeing you on Facebook and everything else. It was nice to talk to you over the phone finally. Okay, well, I hope to see you. I hope. We've done the last 3 years. We've done the Cowboy Poetry event. And that's right. You were saying that earlier. I was going to ask you about that. Do you come up every year for it? Yeah, this will be the 4th year now. I've been here for 30 years now in Elko, and it's really cool to see people who I've seen as like kids when they first came, and they were just starting out. I can't even remember her name. I'll remember it off. I'm sure off mic, but she used to sing here, and then she started singing in Tennessee, and she got to Nashville, and she's met Garth Brooks and all those big names out there. And she's not a big name star herself, but it's just cool to see her transition into such a bigger part of what she was trying to do. Man, living in Elko and seeing the Cowboy Poetry come through here, this town, boom, comes to life. It is incredibly crazy. Yeah, and it's amazing. And the people that we've met there, we met people from Germany, from all over Europe who've just come in for that. Yeah, it's crazy the amount of people from around the world. I'm like, I didn't know there was a whole thing of cowboys. Like you did Switzerland. I met 2 guys from Switzerland last year who came in for it. So yeah, and they're all these guy from Jersey is all wearing this cowboy hat and everything. It was pretty cool. So I'm like, I don't have a cowboy hat. What's wrong with this? Oh, what's wrong with me? So, but it's wonderful. Like Kristen Harris is one that we've, she's got her career going. Annie McKenzie, Jesse Veeder, and Jesse Veeder has such a great story. So I can hardly wait. I always feel bad though to try to grab them, for a 10-minute podcast. They're busy, but they're always so giving. They're like, oh yeah, sure, and they act like it's a big deal. And well, it is a big deal. That's what they're there for. They're there for for what either they're showcasing or to enjoy it. But mainly the people who come through here is something that they're showing off. So for you to come up from Vegas, as soon as you say that, I'm sure they're like, oh my God, this is a trust me, they're appreciative. I promise you. All right, Sandy. Hey, thank you so much. I really, really appreciate this. You can run off to the rest of your day, and I got to run off to mine. All right, Sandy. Thank you. All right. Bye, Steve. Bye. You made my week. Bye. You made mine too. Bye-bye. Bye.
Broadcasting from the Mesquite Works Steam Center in the scenic Mojave Desert, the Art Box sponsors thank you for listening. You can find us on Spotify, Samsung, iHeartRadio, Podchaser, and Amazon Music. Please subscribe so you don't miss an episode. We are on Facebook and Instagram as The Art Box. We welcome all comments. You can email us at artboxvv@gmail.com. The views and opinions expressed on this podcast are those of its hosts and guests and do not necessarily reflect those of our sponsors.